you know, no matter how I intro this weapon, it won't be good enough for how good this weapon actually is. And of course, we're talking about the 21% Delirium machine gun, the new pinnacle gambit weapon, which is our first rapid-fire frame machine gun, 900 RPM, 102 magazine, polygonal rifling, extended mag, overflow, which picking up special or heavy bricks overflows the magazine to 204, and killing tally, which is rampage, but it never goes away until you reload or stow the weapon. It's incredible. And Bumblebee doesn't look too bad because it's still pretty much the Avalanche design-wise, but trust me, this gun is so much better than the Avalanche. And we're going to hop right into the footage because I am so excited to show off this weapon. I'm so excited to talk about it. I've been grinding it since it came out. I mean, obviously, I reset my gambit rank. The entirety of the gambit rank in under 48 hours. That's a lot. Like 40 games for the breakneck, that was doable in one day. Resetting your infamy rank in one day, not doable. Definitely have to go on to the second day, especially when you have college the next morning. So kind of had to sleep in between, but we ended up getting the weapon, boys, and I fell in love. I was using Hammerhead for just about all of my invades the entire time, occasionally switching it up to Colony or Prospector to have a good time, but using LMGs because they're so strong for invading in Gambit and going to the Delirium, oh my, it caught me off guard. The first time I used it, I was like, it seriously just caught me so off guard because you're so used to a 450 RPM and you think, okay, 450 RPM's killing 4 or 5 bullets. They fire at a nice, decent, consistent pace. This is not like this. The recoil on this weapon is wild, which you'll be seeing soon. First, you got to get through those gambit bits, right? You got to get the ammo, and to do that, I got taken armaments on my controverse holds, so we'll be able to get lots of ammo, just trust me. But this weapon has a ton of recoil. It fires 900 RPM, literally double the Hammerhead, the Avalanche, the Thunderlord. Obviously, the Thunderlord starts firing faster, but correct me if I'm wrong, but the Thunderlord never fires as fast as the 21% Delirium is constantly firing. It feels wild, and you think, okay, so it probably takes like double the amount of bullets to kill. I don't know the exact numbers, but I can tell you straight up, if it takes double the amount of bullets, you don't notice it. It's faster. First invade here, you're gonna get to see just how wild this weapon is. And honestly, every time I review a pinnacle weapon, I always have the question, does it deserve to be pinnacle? Well, without a doubt in my mind, this weapon is so pinnacle. And I know last time I did the breakneck, you guys were like, oh, you should have done it in PvP. And I'm like, oh, well, I invaded. I thought that counted. Well, this video is literally pretty much just invading. So if you're like, oh, show it in PvP, if this isn't PvP, then I don't know. I mean, these are clearly players, and they're getting stomped because this gun is actually disgusting. The time to kill on it is so good, especially when you have killing tally times 3. And it's not like other LMGs with Rampage where like you have to keep stringing them. You just don't reload. You are guaranteed that damage isn't going away, and it is monstrous. As someone who's been playing a good mix of Sentry and Invader, I can tell you straight up that this weapon fits on either of those, because it busts blockers incredibly fast, it busts enemies incredibly fast, and even though they nerfed the boss damage on machine guns, it still does big damage to the boss. And I'm going to be honest, I think they nerfed machine guns because they knew that this thing was going to be a monster. And they said, let's just nerf them as a whole. They'll still be good in PvP. They'll still have their place. They still have good ammo economy and whatnot. And this one doesn't. It just has really, really good damage. And honestly, to get the most out of this weapon, you need to be running Taken Armaments, which if you don't know, you can get them from the extra chests in the Last Wish raid, the ones in between the first and second and the second and third encounters. You can get Taken Armaments, which means every taken kill with your grenade is going to be giving you heavy ammo, and that is almost a necessity. Unless you're getting really lucky with ground drops, even if you're loading off the wall every single time your team calls it out, this thing requires so much ammo, especially running over the special brick. Right here, I have 182 shots in the magazine. I have absolutely no worries. I don't need to reload anytime soon, and I am just free to wreak complete and utter havoc because of the ammo economy that I have. That being said, you should know that while this weapon is incredible and I am absolutely in love with it, it does have downsides that other machine guns don't. Obviously, as I mentioned, it runs through ammo so much quicker, along with the fact that it has a ton more recoil than other machine guns. Other machine guns have really long range and really good stability at range and are able to melt almost like scout rifles sometimes. This one will not be able to do that. This has a ton of recoil, and it does not have the same level of absolutely incredible range that the other machine guns have. However, it still has an incredibly strong medium range, and it has an absolutely monstrous close range, as you can see. That being said, I think taking this thing the second you get it and taking it right back into Gambit or Gambit Prime, most likely Gambit Prime, let's be honest. Gambit Prime is so good to us. I don't know if I'll ever go back to Gambit again. I feel spoiled. This game mode is incredible. This wasn't a chore to grind besides the fact that I was physically and mentally exhausted, because this game mode is so much fun. There's so many cool strategies to it, and with a couple tweaks and changes, this really could be my favorite game mode in Destiny 2. And I love PvP. Y'all know I love PvP. That's why I'm invading here. But there's just something about Gambit Prime that is so refreshing, and especially when you get this new pinnacle weapon and you take it right back into there, because this weapon is a boss. Obviously, I'm playing with my team here, and my team, we generally wait for tier 3 to do damage, but as you can see, for a starting phase and for a machine gun, that is a lot of damage numbers. That is good damage, but we generally wait for Primeval Slayer ×3 before we melt. And obviously the reason I'm giving tips is because I want every single one of you watching this video looking at the Delirium with heart eyes, thinking, man, I want this gun. I want you each to get it. I want you to get it as quick and as fast as possible. So I'm just making sure to cover the basics. But yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta say. This gun is an absolute boss. It's got a huge ammo capacity. You see that instead of loading the average 60 or 70, I am consistently loading 100 off of ground pickups, off of wall pickups, and then I just run over a simple special brick, and all of a sudden it has 200 shots in the magazine. 102 to 204, the overflow complete double, and then just stacking on top of it the killing tally that never goes away until I reload. Y'all, in case you can't tell, this is one of the best weapons I've ever used. One of the best power weapons, and I love power weapons, and it consistently outboxes other machine guns. Thunderlords, Hammerheads, they're nothing compared to this. No, don't get me wrong. If you fight them at range, you're gonna lose. But if you get them in your range, and as long as you can control the recoil, you're going to absolutely dominate them. Obviously, I'm a PC player, so my only concern is that this weapon is going to feel really poorly on Xbox, where recoil is a lot more. So if you play on console and you get this weapon, please tell me how it is, because I'm genuinely curious, because the recoil is a lot to deal with here. However, I'm able to maintain it pretty well, as you can see, and it's such a unique feeling weapon. I love this thing. It's so exciting. I love pinnacle weapons. I get so excited for new seasons, new weapons in general, pinnacles, anything, and machine guns are new, so of course, they're hype. Go out, play your Gambit games, go reset your Gambit Prime rank, go get this gun. I cannot recommend it enough. The 21% Delirium is 100% incredible.
Gambit don't scare you, Prime don't scare you. I like your style, but brother, you're nuts.
And now real quick, shout out to myself real quick for getting this weapon. I didn't sleep for it, so the least you can do is like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment, tell me what you think, or follow me on my other social media where I post when I'm going live on Twitch. And that's all, folks.